Hey, Andy here from buildahottub.com. In this video, we're going to look at how we winterize our hot tubs. So let's go ahead and take a look. As the mercury has dropped and it's getting to that time of year, some of you may be thinking about putting your hot tubs away for the winter, which is also known as winterizing. Now, unfortunately, it isn't just a case of putting that cover on, leaving it for a few months and coming back. You're going to find something that's not particularly nice. So hopefully by the end of this video, it will give you exactly all of the steps that you need to winterize that hot tub correctly. Now, if you do it correctly, it is going to save you money because you're not going to damage any of the kit. So that's the first thing. You've got to winterize your hot tub correctly so that you don't leave any water in the pipes, you don't allow it to freeze, crackly pipes, that kind of thing. It's really important. So before we get going, it's always a great opportunity for me to say, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I put 2 long form videos out just like this every single week and a whole bunch of shorts as well. So there's loads of material on the channel about DIY hot tub building, hot tub maintenance, plunge pool building, and pretty much everything in between. So please do hit me up in the comments if you've got any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to that channel. Okay, so the first question is, when should you winterize your hot tub? Well, the simple answer to this one is any time that you're not going to use your hot tub for a prolonged period, so say 4 weeks or so, then you should actually go through this winterizing process. Even if it's middle of the summer and you're going away on vacation for a couple of weeks, well, a bit longer than a couple of weeks maybe. So anything longer than 4 weeks, you should really be looking to winterize your tub just to keep it healthy and really not to cause any damage. So you're going to need a few things to actually winterize that tub. You're going to need a sump pump. You're going to need a garden hose. You're going to need some filter cleaner. You're going to need some hot tub cleaner and some hot tub cover cleaner. You're going to need a garden air blower or a vacuum that you can turn around the other way so it blows rather than sucks. And you're going to need some towels and cloths as well, just to clean away and wipe up any water as well. So first things first, before you actually empty the tub itself, you're going to want to let those chemicals disappear or dissipate. And the way that we do that is we just leave it. Just leave the tub. You can often leave the cover off. That helps reduce the chlorine levels certainly with sunlight. But you're going to want to let all of those chemical levels drop to 0. So you're going to do a test just before you're winterizing your tub to make sure that all of those levels, certainly the chlorine, bromine, any other sanitizer that you're using, has dropped to 0, because you're going to want to empty the water. And if you're going to empty it into your backyard or your garden, maybe you don't have access to the main drain of your home, if you're going to put this on your plants or your lawn, then you're going to want to make sure that those chemical levels are totally at 0 before you do so. The next step, pretty straightforward. You're going to turn off that breaker. So just turning the hot tub off isn't enough. You're going to turn it off at the breaker just to make sure that there's no electric at all going into your hot tub before you do any of the further processes. Once you've done that, you can then drain your tub. You can either drain it by emptying or by using the plug at the bottom of the tub, or if you've built your own, as many people do on my channel, you're going to use a sump pump to empty that water out of your tub. Once you've emptied the water out of the tub, the next thing you're going to do is drain your blower. And you might think, well, that's quite a strange thing to do. It's not. If you remember, certainly on our DIY hot tubs, the air and the water lines actually mix. So what that means is you've got to get the water out of those blower lines. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to fire up the hot tub. I know there's no water in it, but we're going to turn it on and we're just going to let those blowers run for 30 seconds or so. Once we've done that, you should see that there's an amount of water that's gathered in your tub again. Once it's done, no water in those blower lines, you can kill the power, kill the breaker again, and we'll move on to the next step. It's always a good idea to actually loosen the union nuts. So that's the big nut on the front and on the side of the top of your hot tub pump. By doing that, it can just allow more water out of the system, and it helps it to actually drain. So just If you can't do it by hand, my top tip here is use an oil filter wrench. You can pick those up on Amazon for $5 or $6, £5 or £6. They're very inexpensive, but they're a big wide grip that you can then get hold of that nut and you can loosen it, and it's a good way of tightening it up as well to make sure you've got no leaks when you're going to put this back together. So loosen that union nut, and it just helps with allowing flow of water out of those lines. The last thing you want is water left in the lines once you've winterized your hot tub. The next thing we're going to do is either with our vacuum cleaner that we can turn into blowing mode, or I find that a garden leaf blower works really well, is we're going to use that to blow out all of the lines. So every sort of jet inlet that you've got in your hot tub, put the blower or the vacuum that's working in the blower direction up to that, kind of force some air through it, and you should see that out of the lower drains at the bottom of the tub should come some more water. So you're just blowing out all of the water that you can find, that you can get to in your tub, to make sure nothing is left in there. Once you finish this process, there should be a gathering of water at the bottom of your tub. Either use your sump pump again to get rid of it, or get it out manually with a towel or a sponge, that kind of a thing. Next, we're going to clean the filters. So you're going to take your filter out and you're going to jet wash it. I've got a video on that if you're not sure exactly how to clean the filter. Pretty straightforward. Power wash it, then put it in some filter cleaning fluid, let it soak at least overnight, ideally for 24 hours, and then you can let it dry, and then you can either put it back into your tub, or you can just put it away for storage for the winter. If it's beyond repair, if it looks a bit tatty, throw it away. They're relatively inexpensive, and get yourself a new one ready for next season. Now it's time to get scrubbing that internal tub. Make sure that there's none of the watermark lines or anything like that, either on your tiles if you've built your own, or if it's a plastic shell tub, just check the water line, give it a good clean. Use some hot tub cleaner, and obviously make sure it's fully dry afterwards as well. Next stage is you're going to take your attention and turn it onto the cover itself. So the cover, make sure you clean both the top and the underside. In any of the gaps or the joins, if you've got one of those insulated seams, then make sure you clean all the way around that as well. Again, it's got to be totally dry before you then put it back onto your tub. And at this stage, if you've got any of the locking connectors or locks on your cover, lock it down. And it's always a good idea as well, either put some wind straps over the top, or you can of course put something heavy on top of that as well, just so it's going to remain totally sealed for that winter. Last thing you want to do is have anything or anyone get into your tub while it's empty, so just strap it down and keep everything out of that tub during the time that you're not actually going to use it. As you've seen, winterizing your tub is pretty straightforward. It's easy to do, and it's definitely something you should do if you're not going to use your tub for a prolonged period of time. So as always, I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you've got any questions, hit me up in the comments. As always, I appreciate the view. Thanks for the watch, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.